talking with James Wallace. James goes by the name of J-Dog. He's with Spellbound Media and Entertainment. Their website is Where They Do That at Radio. We'll have that all that information up on the FTA Media Services. James, his company, he has been around for about a year and a half, but James has been in for about 13 years. They're based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and they deal with local artists and hip-hop, R&B, and jazz. How you doing there, James? Or should I call you J-Dog?
You can call me James, man. I'm doing great, Richard. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing real good, thank you. James gave us a call a couple days ago, and he had seen, done some Googling, and had seen where he located some of our services, and we talked, and we're the type of guys that James wants, and James is the type of people that we want, so we're going to be doing some work there for James to do some collaborations there, and getting Where They Do That at Radio out to a larger audience. Why don't you tell us a little bit about exactly what Spellbound Media and Entertainment is doing there, James?
Okay, well, under the banner Spellbound Media and Entertainment, what we've been doing in efforts with a lot of different networks, a lot of different local and always and also established artists, is we've been putting together and creating a platform where a venue has been created for them to be seen as well as heard nationwide. We teamed up with an agency called Last FM, which is like a social network for musicians and artists to really be able to get their content out to a lot of different listeners and viewers through various different network sites. We became very intrigued with their ability to really be able to reach a lot of people. And it was kind of like, right a little over like a year and a half ago, my marketing director, she came to me, she was like, we was doing a lot of different things with a lot of different groups and agencies. I think it's an opportunity that you may want to really personally get involved with in, building some sort of a platform to really, give the local artists an opportunity to really have a certain level of exposure. So we actually revisited the website. We took a look at the templates. We took a look at everything they had, and it was very, very compatible. And so therefore, upon taking a look at what Last FM was doing from a listener standpoint, we decided to create a radio station that was basically will actually enhance the level of participation and really getting the artists involved. And one of the biggest things that was one of the greatest, enhancers in all of this was the ability that not only these artists get an opportunity to be exposed throughout the nation and throughout the world, but also an opportunity for them to earn royalties for their music being used. So that was like one of the greatest things. A lot of local artists are the reason why they're seeking exposure on radio and television is marketability, and they're actually looking to definitely establish themselves as an independent while these majors decide to take a look at their content and see what type of fan base they may have. So our job was pretty much laid out to us, which was providing live listeners nightly that follow and listen, enjoy the content, and actually interact with the artists and the fan base. And this is how it all started. And right now we're less than a year and a half from being up and running under the banner of WTDTA Radio, which is Where They Do That Radio. And right now we have approximately a little over 22 million listeners tuned into our show nightly. We also have a sublet channel that's also on Dish Network under Sky City TV. So we really have, we feel that with what we've already been able to accomplish and just definitely getting with you guys with FTA, it's going to definitely be, a great opportunity to really further that level of exposure and really assisting to local arts.
Now, your work there with Dish Network there in the Atlanta, Georgia area, is that just there in Atlanta, Georgia, or can anyone, anywhere in the Dish Network listening all over the United States, can they listen to your station?
Actually, they can actually view and listen to our station. It's located nationwide. We have a sublet channel, which is on Dish Online, that's actually on Channel 3 on the sublet channel on Dish.
Okay.
Under Sky City TV. And Sky City became it was a joint venture that we actually created. Actually, one of our listeners of the show, who I didn't find out until probably about a little over 9 months prior, he was actually a relative of mine that actually was already promoting clubs and doing a lot of things with local artists and national artists. Mm-hmm. And so me and him got to talking, and he was like, Sky City Lounge is based here in Athens, Georgia. He was very interested in further that level of exposure. He had already, done a couple of programmings. The show called People's that actually I think a couple of networks have already picked up and it's in redistribution now. He was already in the deal with the local television providers there, but he wanted something that had a little more level of exposure. So we kind of put our efforts together. Make a long story short, made a couple of phone calls to the CEO, which is Mr. Crystal Cameron with Simply Me TV. And basically was a distributor of program for Dish. We basically worked out a feasible platform and program that will allow now the content that the listeners and viewers are now enjoying to definitely stay in existence and becoming a further strong arm in terms of what we bring to the table in terms of local artists that are creating content that want to get that level of exposure. So it's a nationwide base now that's already been created through Sky City.
One thing I'm thinking about is you're telling me about this. There are two people that we work with real close. One is one of the co-hosts on the show. That's Matt Lanati. He owns Channel 7 television out in San Diego. He's looking for some good content. So I'm going to get you in touch with Matt. And then also, Terry Alacqua owns AMG Network. She's up on C-band, soon probably to be coming down to KU band. She's up on C-band FTA, a very watched network up there, really good content, and they like to deal with local artists and local companies. So I'm going to have you get a hold of Terry. I'll get into a three-way with these people with you, and we'll see what you can work with. Matt, like I say, is looking for content, and that would get you out there on the West Coast. And then, in fact, he runs Channel 7. He also has a AMG on his tower there, so he runs this show terrestrially on Channel 7. So that's there's a company. It's really neat when you talk with people like yourself. You really see where the social networking is. They always say you're like 2 steps away from everybody else in the world.
That's right.
And it's really true. It's really true. I mean, you know somebody that can help you out, and then we help you out, and then later on someone might say, hey, I'm really looking for someone to get my radio show on the internet. Boom, you think, okay, well, Rick maybe can help you out. I'll give Rick a call and get you guys together. And there's no money crossing hands on there, and that's okay, because that's what social networking is. But I like your concept there, and I'm definitely going to get a hold of Terry and get a hold of Matt. So it's kind of funny you're down there in Atlanta, because the gentleman that picks up the tab basically for this radio show up on satellite is a gentleman there in Atlanta. He owns a company called DMSI USA. His name is Tim Heinrich, and he's one of the big players in the KU band satellite world. Wholesale-wise, he's probably the top. Not probably, he is. And he's the one that picks up the tab for the show, and we really appreciate it. So it's kind of nice to know that we've got a local connection there in Atlanta.
Definitely. I'm telling you, we're all super excited. We just on our recent endeavor, which really got me on really, like we're saying over the weekend, really Googling and really looking for additional resources. Was I just picked up an additional local station, which is Glance Radio, which actually has the entire North and South Africa broadcasters as well. And so, I was placed into an operation manager position with them, conjunction efforts with Spreaker Media and Entertainment to really strategically plan and put a lot of different things together for them. And the plan is definitely there for us to really create, a program that can spread through so many different genres and so many different levels.
Well, that just brought it into another individual. That's John Clark over in Thailand, in Bangkok. And he owns a satellite company over there, JSAT. I'm going to contact him. He's our main co-host here on the show, but I'll get a hold of him, and maybe there's some way you guys can work, because I'm always hearing his daughters love to listen to hip-hop. Love it over there. That's ironic you said that. I just one of my reps that's out in the field that actually is one of the main DJs there with Brown Heavy Radio. He identified to me a couple of months ago about the strong bass that's there in Asia. Oh yeah.
And a huge hip hop bass that's there, and it became very clear to us this is the way we really need to go with a lot of our local artists, really strengthening their exposure, giving them adequate content exposure, really promoting the new events and so forth that's being done. And with that being said, we are definitely interested in that, because that's what it's about.
There's also another radio station down in Brownsburg, Indiana. They're on the internet, but they're also up on what we call, they have, it's really unique. It's AM, but it's low power AM, and they've got a huge following. And I'm going to talk to the guys down there because I know they're like me. I'm a big follower of R&B and jazz. I love R&B and jazz. So I'm going to give the guys a call down there. So once again, it's the networking thing, you know. You know somebody who might be interested, and you pass it on. So exactly, what is it that you want us to do for you? What is, I know you contacted me, you said you Googled and you happened to see us. What was you Googling for, number one? And number two, what do you foresee us doing for you?
Yes, well, I'm going to tell you from what I've learned, what we're looking to do is to be able to take all of this creative energy and put it into a format that can be reached via internet, satellite, mobile devices, as well as through the analog frequencies as well. I know a lot of the analog frequencies are all on broadband. A lot of them have already gone broadband, and eventually everything will be on the internet. Right. And so we basically have been on an all-out hunt to capture a platform of willing resources that we can actually utilize this content and really put it in an area where it can be everywhere all at once. Because with that kind of power, we're able to create, alternative methods of media that's out there that really, cater to those that really are requesting it. And one of the key points to this is that when we first started the radio broadcast, I was very reluctant going into this industry to try to really figure out, okay, how do we get folks to tune in? How do we get folks to really, be on this on a regular basis?
Right.
And the technology part of it was right in front of my face, but I kind of overlooked it. The marketing director is Ms. Sims, Nancy Sims, who runs the PR and marketing and other both-based companies. She does great work in terms of PR and marketing. She said, well, James, you're making this too hard to what it has to be. She said, I want you to think about the market and the individuals that use this technology. And let's just make it real simple. She said, now, pretty much, the age range of the listeners is going to listen to hip-hop and a lot of the stuff we've been doing with different programming. They're from the ages of 16 on up to, say, 25, 26. Right. And every one of these individuals, most of them have cell phones. It's like, yeah, I want you to think about the cell phone. The cell phone is no longer the big bulky thing that we used to have. No. This thing has all these widgets, all these different things that are on there. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be doing, they're going to be checking their Facebooks, they're going to be checking their Twitters. They're going to be doing all these different things with it. And music is also a big part of it because we have the ringtones, they take those. And so he said, now I want you to think about that. I want you to look at that device. It's like a vintage radio box that used to have the receivers, the golden age of radio that we had. Everyone had, their receivers in the home. And so this is the technology that they have now. So virtually everyone that connects to you has access to you through these tools.
That's right.
All we have to simply do is just make it fun and make them feel like they are a part of the broadcast that you're doing. And then you're going to have more listeners than you can stand. And so I held it to that. I was like, okay, well, I don't know how quite all this stuff's going to work, but I'm going to do my best, to definitely cater the show, to definitely draw this in. And once we started our first episode, we haven't looked back since. It's been, the listeners are very loyal to the fact that they actually will tune in through their devices, through the internet, through the phone, and so forth to definitely participate on a daily basis. And the greatest thing about it is it's not that they're just listening to great content. They actually get an opportunity to become part of what they're listening to.
Right, they can participate.
Yes, and that's a whole new dimension. And so we just, we feel that with this level of philosophy, we really can just, really go one step further and really creating this very same thing from a visual standpoint. And so, this is what we're looking to, for you guys to really assist us with the technology side and being able to make these tools accessible to everyone.
Well, that's one thing that John Clark has really done for us is got us out there on every device. I had argued with John. I said, John, he was talking about people watching video on their telephone. I said, no one's going to watch that. And I ate my words. I mean, when I said, no one's going to sit there and watch movies or video on a little tiny screen on a cell phone. And he said, oh, you're wrong, Rick. And he proved me I was right. And I was the first one to admit, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, and the devices, for instance, I've got in front of me it's called an HP iPack. It's a pocket PC. And, a lot of people say, well, why do you want a pocket PC? Do you really need that? But they don't realize that this little pocket PC, it's wireless.
That's right.
And yesterday, I went ahead and put Skype on this thing. And now, whenever I'm in an area, and I'm in an area a lot where there's Wi-Fi, okay? Mm-hmm. Whenever I'm in an area where there's Wi-Fi, McDonald's, Panera Breads, Starbucks, wherever I'm at, there's Wi-Fi. I make phone calls with this thing for nothing. I just go up on my Skype account, click on it, boom, and I just talk. In fact, I'm talking to you right now on Skype on that device, on a little handheld wireless. And that's what John did for us. John got us up on iTunes, got us up on Shoutcast, got us up on, you name it, we were up there. And he's done a whole bunch, and that's what I'm going to have him do for you guys.